Welcome, folks. I am Jabby Kaway, joined by the wonderful Steph Sabra.
Hi.
What up, brah?
What up?
And Achara Kirk.
Hello.
She is quite the Kirky person.
Kirky.
Okay.
Kirkland membership.
That's right.
We go get gas with her.
Just as an FYI, Steph Sabra is part of a Star Wars podcast, if you want to shout that out right quick.
Sith Council, Christian Harloff channel. Come check us out.
And my own shameless plug is I have a lightsaber fight I would love you all to watch. Link in the description below. I think it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you will too. Let me know. So anyway, this is our initial thoughts and feelings about Andor. We have watched 4 episodes thus far. That's what we were provided by Disney. And I am very, very, very pleased to let y'all know that I am extremely happy with what we have seen thus far. It stands apart in a very, very strong way from a lot of stuff we've been seeing, not just from Star Wars lately, but also from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from everything in terms of Disney Plus. It's done with such care and quality that I didn't know we were gonna get. Like, the trailer looked really, really good, but the trailers always look good.
Yeah.
And oftentimes the first episodes are always super cool, and I get super pumped, and then it's just like, this is one of those instances where I'm like, whoa, like this is sustaining that love from me, and it's just doing that.
It was a lot of fun, and especially as someone, I mean, I've watched a lot of the Star Wars content. Obviously, still haven't gotten around to watching all of the animated shows, but what I appreciated was the story just on its own is really exciting. The characters are interesting. The world building is fantastic. At least for me, I got so wrapped up in the world and the characters that I was having a great time and didn't feel like I was missing out because I don't know everything about Star Wars, you know?
Yeah, I think that's when Star Wars is at its best. I thought they really accomplished the idea that they didn't rely on the fact that it's Star Wars and you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's Star Wars, it's genuinely good. And I think they pulled the best things out of Rogue One, like some of the principles and the things that fired you up as a viewer, and then amplified that and really set the tone in a way that I haven't seen them do in recent years.
I'm glad you brought that up. I watched Rogue One once. I tried to watch it a second time, but then I got busy with some work or something. But anyway, I didn't love the movie at the time. I know that some of you are going to be really offended when I say that. I apologize in advance. I'm just trying to be honest and transparent here. And so when I saw the trailer to Andor, I was like, oh, this would be good because I know you love Rogue One.
Yeah.
It's one of your like favorite movies of all time, right?
Yeah, I love Rogue One.
And so this is who we're talking
Of the
to.
new era, it's top 2 for me.
Okay. For me, when the Andor trailer dropped, I was quite surprised at how taken I was by it because I'm like, well, I didn't love Rogue One, so how much could I possibly like this? But then I thought, well, if this is good, it'll basically invite me to watch Rogue One again and see and have a new appreciation for it. And it's already doing that in a very, very strong way because it's taking what I'm familiar with from Rogue One and expanding on it in a way that's very, very strong with, like I said, the quality level is so, so high in this show. It's remarkable, especially after watching stuff like, I am so sorry if anybody gets offended by anything I'm saying here. Obi-Wan and Boba Fett and stuff like that. Like, there was a lot of what I called forgiveness going on, where I'm like, oh, it's good still. Yeah, it's good. And like, but in your heart, you know that there are things that are wrong, and you're just trying to like push that to the side because you so badly want it to be loved by you. You know, you know what I mean?
Because you love the IP.
Yes.
Yes.
You love the IP.
Obi-Wan,
You love the ideas, and you don't want to have anything critical in your heart, even though it's there. I mean, that's the case for me. Whereas here, I was saying during one of my reviews that my forgiveness factor is at a 0. Like, I just love it. And there's no concessions being made in my soul for this show. It's just like, wow, like, that's just good.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
It's
you know?
entertaining, and like I really love the sense of the world feeling so lived in and the characters feeling lived in, whether it's our main character Cassian Andor or if it's any of the side characters he meets along the way. They just feel like real people living real and interesting lives on like a real and interesting locations.
Right.
I feel like every actor got their assignment. We're like, we're gonna kill this. We're gonna absolutely nail this. Like, no one in the background, foreground was doing anything but being like perfectly that character.
Yeah.
And so you were just instantly in wherever they were showing you. And the shots are incredible. Shooting on location, it's like so cool to see again.
Well, to piggyback on that, I'm trying to make sure I keep everything mysterious as possible. Piggybacking on that, you know, every scene feels like it's needed. it feels like nothing is wasted in this show. And every character you spend time with in the show, even though you might not see them again, because you never know. I mean, we're only 4 episodes in, so I have no idea who's coming back later on. But every character you are exposed to that has more than 2 lines, like that person feels like they've got history. And it feels like they have history with the person they're talking to. And like you can feel that in the scene work, which is so cool, because I really feel like I'm part of this world, especially because of the pacing.
Yeah.
It's like the pacing is wildly different from what we've been getting. One of my big complaints that you guys have heard me say multiple times is you only have 6 episodes, and it just feels like cliff notes. Like you're moving through the show so fast. And this being 11 episodes, I was like, okay, how are you going to do this one this time? Is it going to be the same thing just for 11 episodes? And it feels like they're using the real estate of time wisely. Like everything feels like it's being done in a very, very clever, smart manner where you just come away happy. Like, I'm so happy at the end of, and then you're excited, like happy, all the positive feelings you could possibly have. And it keeps you on the edge of your seat too.
They really do take their time, but it never feels slow. You know, everything feels right, like you were saying. They're taking the appropriate amount of time to get us to care. Because I do care about the characters and the situation very much at this point.
Yeah.
And I thought the writing too is just phenomenal. Like this is dialogue I've wanted from Star Wars for so long, where you're like letting them speak. You're not like telling all the whole story. There's like a lot of foreshadow, and the way they use language is really well done, and you're like invested in these characters by the way they're talking. You heard it in the trailer about the reckoning, and you get chills like that multiple times.
Yeah. I mean, what you're talking about is like excellent scene work.
Yes.
And I think that all of us have wanted that from... Or maybe we didn't even know we wanted it, but now we're getting it, and it's like, yes, I didn't know I wanted this.
Yeah.
Because for me, what I have wanted for a long time is dope fight scenes in Star Wars, like dope lightsaber fight scenes, like the kinds we see in Old Republic, the video game stuff. Like, I never played Old Republic. I just saw the fight scene cutscenes and whatnot from Blur. I think it's Blur Studios. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But like, this is stuff I didn't know I needed. If that makes any kind of sense.
No,
Yeah.
they're not. Yeah, it's not just like shooting the door and that's why it doesn't close.
Yeah.
Like the actual scenes that are unfolding.
Right. So if you're used to like that sort of campy vibe from a Star Wars, you know, like that, which was introduced from the get-go, there's a sort of campiness that makes it lovable. That is not as present here. There is still stuff that puts a smile on your face, that makes you chuckle, laugh. I laughed several times. That's not the core of this, you know, like when you watch a Marvel thing, there's this expectation of there's going to be jokes every 10 seconds. There's the right balance for me of humor and drama here, favoring drama and then introducing levity just to kind of shake it up. And you know, I really think that they struck a perfect balance with this show.
But if you were concerned that like this is just going to be a dialogue heavy talky show, there's also some really great action as well. One scene in particular that we've seen so far stands out as just being very exciting. So, you know, it's got a good mix of everything.
Yep. You guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully we were doing a very, very good job of keeping things mysterious, but still luring you in, because like I said, this is like some of my favorite stuff to come out of Disney Plus, probably thus far. This might be, that's a tall, I know I'm
You're
singing
being very superlative.
I'm being extremely superlative, but I mean it. I mean it. You know, it's that good. So I just hope the rest of it is that good. So you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I am Jabby Kuwait. This is
Steph Sabra.
And
Achara Kirk.
peace out.